Well, I'm pretty sure that this is a video that was probably not the one you were expecting. Oh man, sorry, I had to. Unless you saw the announcement on the community or Twitter feed, but not everyone's going to get that opportunity to do so. So, to some people, this is going to be like a moment. Hello, everyone. It is Liam Caddison here. Yes, we are doing something a little bit different today, which is the rewatch of the Doctor Who 1996 TV movie, which, of course, features the wonderful Paul McGann and the beginning of the 8th Doctor, who is one of my favourite Doctors up there, along with Peter Capaldi, Matt Smith. But yes, there is no holiday special for Doctor Who this year. I know it's a bit of a bummer. We did get the 60th anniversary teaser trailer, which was a really, really nice surprise for us. But yeah, we do not have a holiday special. And I thought, you know what, why not? It's, rare that I will decide to upload a rewatch anyways, because obviously reacting and going through pain is my main thing, isn't it? So yeah, but I thought it's a nice holiday treat, and not just that though, but obviously I could have reacted to a holiday special and whatnot of, the Matt Smith era, David Tennant era, etc. But I felt like the 8th Doctor is, this is still a kind of a holiday special in a sense. Not just that though, but like I said, 8th Doctor is one of my favorites, and I feel like there is a lot more of a really, really, I don't know, surreal environment for Paul McGann's Doctor, because of the fact that with his TV movie, it was in the wilderness years, as I guess we dub it, and there was not, well, I believe not that much accessibility to the TV movie, and there was a lot of ambiguity until I guess Night of the Doctor, in terms of what is this Doctor all about, etc., because not everyone would get access to Big Finish, because that requires money, and some people might not be able to afford it. So yeah, so I do feel like that this is a nice appreciation, like especially for those who might not have seen the TV movie yet. This is like a nice kind of appreciative vibe, while still, I guess, being relevant to the holiday season, because this is, of course, set around New Year. So yeah, but yeah, obviously this TV movie, it might not be the greatest thing out there in terms of Doctor Who, but it's, for me, no means bad whatsoever, and something that I do really, really enjoy, not just because of Paul McGann, but I don't know, it just has a nice flair of beauty about it for some reason. So yeah, but and not just that though, but obviously some people might not be too fond with this, especially with the kind of American nature it was leaning towards. Obviously Doctor Who is a British thing, so it's like, what are you doing trying to take my baby away from me here? But yeah, why don't we get into this? Of course, I've got the full thing on Patreon. So like I said, if there is any first time watchers, then yeah. But yeah, with that said, let's get into the TV movie rewatch of Doctor Who. Let's go.
Take his remains back to our home planet, Gallifrey.
It's still so weird hearing the Daleks be like that, but my headcanon is...
Quest they should never have granted.
These executioner Daleks are like a, different kettle of fish. Music to my ears!
So, I stowed his remains safely for the voyage back, because even in death I couldn't trust him.
And we can't trust you as well, Doctor, because this is... something. He holds the screwdriver the wrong way.
There, that should do it.
I'd like to think that that's how the Master got out, because of the Doctor.
In all my travels through space and
putting
time,
on common sense there.
nearing the end of...
Poor Doctor. Poor Doctor. how they didn't even question it. They're just like, oh, a box has just materialized. Shoot! Shoot! I just feel so bad for the doctor just getting caught up in this.
This is 1999, isn't
We
it?
can't wait any longer, Grace.
He's so helpless here.
I'm not coming. It's okay, I got it.
But no one's going to, like,
We've already picked
question
that out, so now we're going to listen
its
to your
true
heart. We're gonna
nature.
find out why it's so
Not unless this man's a donkey.
I am lost.
Like, this is so, like...
Let me try something.
This is so surreal how they're accidentally in the process of killing the doctor.
Time of death.
10:03. I want to see his X-rays now.
Grace.
Yeah, it is just such a tragic way for a doctor to go, really.
No identification.
Not just in something human nature, but also a companion accidentally killing him. New body at last. They tried to, like, I guess, modernize it in a sense, but still tried to be faithful to the classics. They should have really put him in more game, right? I know that's so on the nose, but...
God, no!
It's a shame that this isn't his first bout. It's like 8th first bout with amnesia. Well, it is, but it's not going to be the last, should I say. Iconic. Iconic. That's the thing, though. He was still kind of alive. He was still alive, really. Watch. Imagine.
Is not honey.
Oh, well. You like me to call you then?
Master will do.
Well, come back to bed, Master.
It's not a kink thing. It's really not.
We've met before.
I don't think so.
Yes, I think so. I know you. You're tired of life, but afraid of dying. There was music.
I just
You were there.
love
I
everything
saw
with
you last night.
Eight's first
I
steps.
don't know who I am, but I have two hearts. You have to get me out of here before they kill me again. Please. Please, you have to help me. Try!
You know what I'm just thinking? Like Smith and Jones, I'm surprised that the doctor didn't have some kind of like fear of hospitals.
I had a bad night.
I don't know, that delivery is just fun.
Did you want something?
What happened to the gunshot wound I brought in? I've got orders to move him.
He died.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
orders to move his body.
Who are you?
I was dead too long this time. The anesthetic almost destroyed the regenerative process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
See, don't mind that inclusion in terms of complications to
Grace,
regeneration.
Grace.
Don't you see? I have 13 lives.
Please. Okay, you're trying to tell me that you've come back from the dead.
Yes.
No, sorry. The dead stay dead. You can't turn back time.
Yes, you can.
I'm not a child.
Hello?
Doesn't I just love this bit here? Like, yeah, how the master got in.
Who's there? The guy from the ambulance? Bruce, don't scare me like that.
I mean, the master must have
place is
known
freaky enough.
where the doctor kept the spare key.
That's your...
Gallifrey! Yes, this must be where I live. Now, where is that?
I've never heard of it. What do you remember?
A meteor storm. The sky above us was dancing with lights. Purple, green, brilliant yellow. Yes.
What?
These shoes.
They fit perfectly.
Oh, the enthusiasm. Like, this was for me the moment Paul was the doctor. I don't know. It's just so brilliant, enthusiastic, and beautiful.
Oh my God.
I know who I am.
This is where it starts.
I am the doctor.
Yes, you are.
Now do that again.
You was haunted for Paul McGann.
See that? That's the retinal structure of the human eye. The doctor is half human.
How many people lost their minds to this? Thankfully, they just explained it. It was all, yeah,
Oh, I saw in the master.
a ruse. And there he is.
Looks like a truck's blocking all the lanes.
See, I was kind of surprised with the fact that he wasn't able to sense him at that moment. Until that moment, should I say.
There you go. The planet is about to be destroyed, and I'm stuck in a traffic jam. Excuse me.
Really would have taken, yeah.
Right there, sir. Ma'am, go back to your vehicle.
He's British.
I suppose I am. Jelly baby, officer? Jelly baby?
I just love it. Just lead you along.
Now, would you stand aside before I shoot myself? Thank you. You!
Doc doesn't like guns, so.
What are we waiting for?
The road's still blocked.
This is an ambulance.
This is an ambulance! I feel that. I feel that.
Hey man, when I get all that gold, you know what I'm gonna do?
I don't want to know.
You kill me.
You want me to kill you?
No, I mean, you make me laugh, man. You're a funny guy.
I'm glad one of us is amused.
Hey, look, cheer up, man. You'll get your body back soon, and then we're a team, right?
Yes, we're a...
Yes, there's a we.
I'm half human. On my mother's side.
You joke.
Happy New Year.
You still think you must be?
Champagne?
Oh. Oh.
I don't know how that looks like the main
This is
console,
when I wish
but
I had my sonic screwdriver.
stealthy as well.
Remember, answer the second question. Don't forget.
I won't. Now can I see what's in your hand, sir?
I don't think they furthered a
What's that all about?
sleight of hand.
Years from now.
This guy just has a trip in the TARDIS and it's just like... yeah. Yeah.
Oh my.
I was gonna say, he surely knew this was going to happen, like he was going to affect her mind. That's why he wasn't really worried about the whole escape situation at the Institute.
I suppose he neglected to mention that there won't be any place left to spend your money.
Which is why we have no time to waste.
Oh,
But time to change.
look at him go. Dressed for the occasion.
I always dress for the occasion.
Well, I'm glad to see that you are aware
So
of the gravity
campy, I
of the
love
situation.
it.
I never liked this planet, Doctor.
She's possessed by evil, not goodness.
Yeah, possession's not usually a neat thing.
This won't hurt much.
I'd like to think he was putting on the coffee.
He said it himself, Lee. He's wasted his lives. All of them.
Yeah, he kind of fluffed up there.
Open the eye.
No!
Oh boy.
You lied to me.
Betrayed!
I would only protect you.
Oh! Oh boy!
How will you open the eye now?
Grace.
Yeah.
Unless I'm mistaken.
Doesn't this look a bit too familiar, folks?
He can't move. So long as the eye links us. Remember, Grace, remember.
Reroute the power!
In the console room, go.
But you'll die if I leave you!
We'll all die if you don't. Run.
It's a risk I'm willing to take at this moment.
17, 16, 15.
Oh, I think I've I think this looks a bit familiar, doesn't it, folks? Such a wild way to go, to be fair. And there she goes! Fight like animals again. It's funny how he says life is wasted on the living, and that's the one thing he seeks.
Give me your hand.
Rather, yeah, it's the typical master though, like you'd rather die. Sure, it's not the last we're gonna see of the Bruce Master though. In Before Grace and Lee, they have a new set of regeneration and cycle, right?
Grace. Well, how does it feel? It's all back death.
It's all full circle, isn't it? Lee, Grace, they kind of push things along with Seven dying.
Come with me.
You come with me.
Me come with you.
Yes.
Me come with you.
I was reminded of Rose and Ten's debate in, I think, Pit, was it?
It's tempting.
I'm gonna miss you.
How can you miss me? I'm easy to find. I'm the guy with two hearts.
That's not what I meant.
I love the music. I love this scene. It is sad that Grace didn't, you know, come along.
Where was I?
Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. There we go.
Oh no, not again.
This movie is such a fun trip. Like, you know, it might not be one of the greatest things out there, etc. Or, well, in terms, like, well, it is a great thing. It might not be one of the most quintessential pieces of Doctor Who, but it's great. It is a really nice continuation, I would say, of the Doctor after the events of Survival. Obviously, especially between 89 and I guess 2005. There were bits and pieces, the books, the Big Finish, that did, like, especially with Big Finish, they of course continued the adventures of the Doctor really well, whether it be focused on the past or the seventh, eighth Doctor, and you know, they have progressed so much in 2002 with other bits and pieces, but yeah, I mean, this is such a really wonderful film that does have charm. Yeah, it might have that little bit of, you know, campy nature, etc., which I guess I do not mind, especially like with the fact that I think this probably would have been done a bit differently in 2022. Um, Visuals, sound, etc. But it's still good, like, especially for its time, and especially in regards to the lore of the Eighth Doctor, of what we know. I would say it's, you know, kind of aged nicely in terms of like reflecting on the Eighth Doctor and how far he's come, really. So, and just from the get go, Paul, yeah, I mean, he's had some stellar performances as the Doctor, and like I said, he is one of my favorite Doctors. Big Finish did help with that, but this did a fantastic job at establishing his character, in my opinion. But you know, as time has gone on with Big Finish coming out and all of that, like, Paul continued to show why he was an incredible choice to play the Eighth Doctor. I just feel like there's a lot of good charm about this movie. It just feels fun to enjoy. Yeah, it might be a bit. There might be a few like cheesy lines and whatnot. I also keep into account that this is like the '90s as well, and I feel like then you can get away with it and all of that. So yeah, and obviously there were controversial decisions in terms of advancing things in the plot and lore, etc., like the half-human thing. That was easily disputed, of course. But it's not like it was the last time that Doctor Who did something controversial in terms of messing with the lore, if you know what I'm talking about. Though I don't necessarily have a problem. Obviously, I don't speak for the entire fandom, so in terms of like opinions, etc. So, and obviously the Timeless Child is a very debated subject, isn't it? So yeah, but yeah, it was just good. As you'd expect to revisit that and just enjoy the journey of the Eighth Doctor again, because like, Paul does such a phenomenal job, and considering his, like, for those who don't have the access to his Big Finish stories, you only have a few times where you get to appreciate Paul's acting as the Doctor, and he killed it from the get-go, really. Though I don't know, there's always a part of me that always thinks that when he reflects on Gallifrey, that was the moment for me. I don't know, there's just a lot of his there's a lot of his character that can just be very appreciated. I mean, that's pretty much the case for the entire movie, but that moment itself, it just is very essential, I feel, in terms of cementing Eight's character. So, and especially when you, I guess, have been fortunate enough to digest the Big Finish audios, as well as the fact that you know where his story ends in Night of the Doctor. There is a tragic thing there, isn't there? Because he starts off full of he starts off charming, etc., and very, very passionate, always wanting to do good, and obviously the Time Walk has kind of hurt him and has kind of crushed his spirits, really. So yeah, and I feel like that transition there, Paul has done a fantastic job. So yeah, but I mean, Big Finish not only, I guess, kind of did justice for the Eighth Doctor. Not that they butchered the Eighth Doctor here, but in terms of like really giving the viewers an appreciative vibe of the Eighth Doctor further. They also did so with the Eric Roberts Master, of course. And I know that there was a lot of criticisms to his character, whether he just felt out of place or too hammy or whatever. I know to say that he was a lot of people's favorite master would be a massive fat lie. So yeah, but I do love the sinister characteristic he has, like that Eric Roberts does provide this master with. There is still a little bit of that I would say campy flavor with like, especially with the I dress for the occasion part. But the last master that we got was Anthony Ainsley, and I feel like the slight difference in terms of Eric's character is nice, especially with how how menacing he is, especially with his quest to find life after being exterminated. Because even prior to that, the master, the body that the master had, it was one that was stolen. So, and his situation was deteriorating. So there is that desperation where the morph comes into factor, of course. And ultimately him trying to steal the Doctor's lives. So, which obviously after watching a certain episode of Doctor Who, it's like, oh, I feel like this is not going to be the last rodeo that the Doctor and the Master have this kind of familiar situation. So yeah, but I do really love that aggression and that that pursuit, really, in terms of looking for life, etc. So yeah, but it was like, it was very, I do love the menacing approach that he gives, like especially like he got to, well, Bruce's partner, because it wasn't his partner. So yeah, but from there you get a sense of his menacing attitude, and even then, just the way he just stands and is, and I feel like you could feel the menacing characteristic that is the I guess the Bruce Master, he is called. So yeah, because that's essentially it. Like, he took over Bruce's body, and yeah. So I think that's the kind of official description we can give to this incarnation of the Master. But yeah, I do like how it was a bit different to Anthony Ainsley's character. There was a bit of eccentricness to Anthony's Master, which obviously I do not mind whatsoever, because Anthony killed her. But it is a little bit different, and especially when you've been when you've done everything in order to make sure that death is not an option for you. It can very much, in my opinion, create that cold atmosphere that the Eric Roberts Master provided. So yeah, but it's such a like the movie is I don't know, it just has this magic that works in a sense, but I don't know how it would have fared if the planned series would have kicked off. Like, for those who don't know, they did try to push for a series. So yeah, but didn't came to fruition. But obviously, and I think this doesn't even need to be stated, but what we've gotten with New Who works really well, and we kind of prefer that over the like what if scenario, I guess. So like for a standalone movie, I feel like there is a nice bit of magic that comes with this. Obviously, it's no heaven sent by any means or whatever, but there is just this nice little chill magic that comes with it. So even the music is just really incredible. So but yeah, it's pretty much evident that we prefer the BBC to solely have their hands on Doctor Who. So yeah. But it was great, and obviously you get a great I feel like you get a really great vibe with 8 and Grace. Would have loved to have seen, I guess, a bit more of her. But yeah, there is that nice charm, of course, and sorrow really for Grace's character, because she was just going from one extreme to the other. Well, she was just hitting every bad turn she could possibly encounter, from of course Brian and that kerfuffle to accidentally killing Seven. And I don't mind the way that they killed Seven, to be fair. I kind of forgotten what the consensus was in terms of, okay, how are we going to write out the Seventh Doctor and all of that, like in terms of the fans' reaction to it. But personally, I do not mind it, because it does feel a little bit different. Obviously, the companions were more so involved in the death of the Seventh Doctor. Not by their choice, because we had Seven land in the middle of a gang feud, and well, he got shot, so that was all fine and dandy. But the real kicker was the operation and the biology of the Doctor not being not being something that Grace is obviously going to be familiar with, so she's got no idea what she's doing. And obviously, under normal circumstances, that would sound bad, but no one could have probably would have been able to do that successfully. So accidentally, she triggered the death of the Seventh Doctor. So that's what I'm saying in terms of the companions being involved. Yeah. But there's also a very, very scary vibe as well, in terms of something human getting the Seventh Doctor. But not just that, though. It is something that's, I guess, when you think about the Seventh Doctor and how a lot of people can view him as a very cunning Doctor, of course. It is so it is so meager, isn't it, in terms of him just being, like, his death being essentially accidental. The TARDIS landed in San Fran. He came out the TARDIS and just gets shot at by a gang, really. So it is no climatic ending with the Master or whatever. It's just human bullets that get him sent to a hospital, and then complications arise that kill him off, really. So it is kind of tragic in a sense, really. So yeah. But yeah, it's such a fun movie to digest, really. So I do really love the fact that I can go through this movie. I don't have a real problem with it whatsoever. And yeah, and I do find it very, very interesting. It's not something that I thought about before, but saw it in this, and I'm like, well, hang on. But the energy that that brought Grace and Lee back looks very, very familiar, doesn't it? So Yeah, but I guess there are quite a few concepts that do make their way over into New Who. Even, I guess you could say, the Master and the Doctor's battle, really, when he was trying to get the Doctor's remaining lives. I mean, that's obvious. When we saw that in Power, I was thinking, well, this does kind of this feels a bit deja vu, doesn't it? So, yeah, but I just really love going through this. Really, it is a fun movie. It's fun to digest, and Paul. It's nice to just get that appreciation that Paul has always, in my opinion, been an incredible Doctor. That it is so criminal that he didn't get more TV screen time. I mean, like I said, compared to the plan where the Americans were going to continue the adventures of the Eighth Doctor, I don't know if what we, in hindsight, what we got in terms of Big Finish, etc., worked out for the best, because I think there were issues anyways in terms of acquiring characters from the Eighth Doctor movie. And using them for Big Finish. So I don't know if that would have extended if they did the planned series. Because like I said, Big Finish made me kind of realize that the Eighth Doctor is one of my favorite Doctors. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if what we got in hindsight worked out for the best, even though that more screen time for Paul McGann is pretty much needed, but it doesn't defeat the fact it doesn't defeat the fact that he is one of my favorite Doctors of all time. And so I hope you guys enjoyed going through this rewatch. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this rewatch. You can check the videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this rewatch. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!